Okay, guys, this is actually a very interesting question. I always get asked this: is where do you spend the main bulk of your money? Let's say you got 1,000,000 coins. Do you spend it on your striker? Do you spend it on your attacker? I'm going to explain to you how statistically and mathematically, I suppose you can say, will give you the best benefit inside the game. Now, to be honest, I generally thought it was a bit of a common sense, but I think maybe misinformation in the community has probably strayed many people's opinions. Let's say, for example, like I think the best way of explaining this is if you go, so let's say you go to my YouTube channel, right? Let's say you look at a squad builder, any squad builder on my YouTube channel. What you would see most of the time is if it's like 1,000,000 coin squad builder, I spend a large chunk of the coins, maybe like you're talking, so let's say it's a 2,000,000 coin one last year, Neymar in striker. So like if you type in squad builder, you just choose any, close my eyes, choose any random one over here. Well, let's just choose a recent one actually. But let's say, for example, like here, it's 50k squad builder. And you see a lot of the time, a top tier striker is always at the forefront. Now, why? The reason for this is finishing, it's not the best this year. Last year, finishing was perfect in my opinion. I think they did a very good job. Probably the best finishing there has been in many years. This year, finishing is inconsistent. You could have the best player in the game and still miss. And that is why you spend, if you got 1,000,000 coins, if you have to spend 500k on a top tier strike, although the price has gone down, you spend it. And that is why you see I kind of think of it like a tree. You kind of want to go top heavy. Go at the top at the bottom. And this is the thing, this is the Neymar thing. The reason why I started fullbacks in the first place, before the entire community came after me, was because I couldn't afford a top tier player. And I thought, well, if I can't afford a base Cannavaro, who's got good pace, good agility and balance, and good defending, why not slap a fullback there? And what did I do a test? I was using gold Wan-Bissaka and gold Semedo until the last day last year. And everyone was using team of the year, team of the season cards. I was still using Semedo and I was still using Wan-Bissaka. This year I'm using Walker, Wan-Bissaka, and they still work. But this is the reason why. It's because a lot of people don't really understand this. If you have 99 stand tackling or you have 84 stand tackling, are you going to notice a difference? Now I want you to sit there and just think about it, right? If you make a tackle with someone who's got 20 defending, or let's say 20 stand tackling, and someone's got 99 stand tackling, if you time it correctly, do you get the ball? The answer is yes. How we know this is very, very simple. You notice by just general gameplay. Someone like Ronaldo, people always say to me, oh, how come my opponent's attacker Ronaldo tackling my midfielder like he's prime Maldini? It's because it's all about positioning. If your position, try this, go into a game and just put your controller down. If your opponent walks into you, you will get the ball. So the only thing that's really important in terms of defending, realistically, is defensive awareness, interceptions, and work rates. Ideally, high defensive work rates, their position are better in my opinion. That's why I say when you're going for a fullback, you ideally want to go with high defensive work rates. That's why you can see Wan-Bissaka and Walker, they're there specifically because he's got high defensive work rates. But the second thing is defensive awareness. Now, can the average player know the difference between 80 defensive awareness and 90 defensive awareness? Probably the answer is not really. Same interceptions, between 90 interceptions and 80 interceptions, can the average player know the difference? Probably not. We're talking about a very, very minute difference. If you're not positioned in the correct place, you're going to lose the ball. And that's why if I say, if you've got a 1,000,000 coin team and you spend 500k on your centre back, it doesn't matter. If you're not good at defending and you run out with Maldini, you're still going to concede. You could use Cristiano Ronaldo in centre back, but if you know how to defend, you're going to defend better with Ronaldo. Extreme example, you're going to defend better with Ronaldo at centre back if you know what you're doing, compared to Maldini if you have no idea how to defend. And that's why I go back, this is the basics of gameplay. But when you're attacking, you could have someone who's got 99 shooting, green time the shot, and still miss. And that is why when it comes to a strike, it's very hard to get a combination of good agility and balance so they can turn. Very good finishing, good shot power to get the ball past the goalkeeper in a 1v1, and good composure. That's why I think I use Neymar on striker as well. I think even though Neymar hasn't got the best of shooting this year, I think his high composure makes up for it. Even though he's got a very low finishing and shot power, with a finisher or a hunter, he's still exceptionally quite good. And that's the reason why you spend the most money on your striker, because you're going to have only, maybe when you're playing like in, again, it depends what division you're in, but let's say you're Division 5 and below, maybe even Division 2 and below, realistically, you're going to have a lot of chance. People don't know how to defend. They're going to run out with a centre back, so you're going to have chances. But when you're versing like 2k skill rating in the elite division, you're only going to have a handful of chances in the game. You're only going to have 2 or 3. But the same thing applies in lower divisions, okay? Now, if you're only going to have 3 chances in the game, you want to have the highest chance of scoring. If you have someone that costs 400k compared to 1 million, that player is going to be much better. Now, it's not that simple, of course. You know, There's certain players like, if you got 1,000,000 coins, let me just probably do this as well. If I go on Footbin, I'm just trying to think of a player like Gabriel Jesus and Ronaldo, right? The problem is with Jesus is that even though he cost 900k, almost quadruple what Ronaldo cost, he's got a 3-star weak foot. Now, any good player will put Jesus on his weak foot, and his shooting won't be that good compared to Ronaldo, who's basically got a 5-star weak foot because his shooting is so good. Think of it like 4/5 of shooting, but also Ronaldo has much higher composure. So would I rather have Ronaldo than Jesus? Yes, but there's some players like Lewandowski. So if you've got, like, you've probably seen my recent squad builder. Just very recently, I put a video out and I put Lewandowski in striker. Now, you probably scroll down for yourself and see most of the opinions. And people are like, oh yeah, why are you putting Lewandowski and why are you playing all these players? But the truth is, Lewandowski is the one that's going to score you the most goals. And that's the most important thing. When it comes to economizing, let's say, for example, if you got a team, where do you economize? This is where I economize. I always say top heavy, so I made it clear now, the striker, that's where you spend the most of your coins. That will be, the red will be the most. In yellow, I would say it's kind of the cam, the CDMs and the centre back and the goalkeeper. And then let's just put it as green, even though technically it's the wrong color coordination, opposite way. Green is the areas where you can economize, because wingers, they don't shoot that much. They're running up and down the pitch most of the time. They sometimes get an opportunity to shoot, but most of the time, that's why you might see, for example, I always go with cheap left backs and right backs. I've seen people have like they got like 1,000,000 coin team and they're spending 300k on your left back. What's the left back gonna do? It's just gonna run back. If you just get a fast left back, that's all you need in FIFA. You don't even need good defending stats. I used to play wingers and defenders for a joke, but just to prove an example. The reason why you want a good goalkeeper is because goalkeeper is important to save the shots. Then same is with the striker. So you can argue this is kind of like in orange territory. The defenders, of course, is completely fine, but to be honest, you can get someone like Walker and Wan-Bissaka, who in my opinion are two of the best centre backs in the game, and they do very, very well. Good recovery. I'll tell you something, contrary to belief, and when I first said this, everyone laughed, but I think now I say everyone doesn't even laugh anymore. They just say, oh, you're still using fullbacks 2 years later. But the truth is, if you use Walker and Wan-Bissaka, I can guarantee you will statistically score less goals. Even if you don't know how to defend, if you give yourself, let's say 2 weekend leagues, you will concede less goals. If you consider yourself like not getting frustrated and you play the game, you will concede less. Why? It's because over the top through ball meta is the way people are conceding most goals, not headers. So if you can have a fast play, you're going to recover. But I think the problem is that people, when they use a fullback, they see, oh, you know what? It cost me in this goal. So they look at one goal that they conceded, but like, oh, if I had Van Dijk, I probably wouldn't have conceded that. Maybe, but do you look at all the other chances that you didn't concede? No, you don't, because you don't think about those chances. So that's the problem, I would say. But again, if people want to use players on full chemistry, if they want to use some guy, if they want to go ahead and spend 100k on a centre back with a 200k team, then be my guest. The CDMs, you ideally want someone with pace, someone like Llorente. So Llorente is one of the best CDMs in the game, and he costs what, 20k. Best CDM, best in the mid. Same on Onyeka, he costs like 20k, one of the best CDMs in the game. Now, I'd rather have Onyeka and Llorente on 7 chemistry than put a subpar player there on 10 chemistry. It's honestly, I don't understand. It's almost criminal how people would rather put someone on 10 chemistry. It's like, this is the best way I can put it. If you had a choice between 2 strikers, you had a choice between Eusebio on 5 chemistry or someone like, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a maybe not the best example. I'm trying to think of a striker. Let's say Harry Kane, right? Would you rather have, let's say you don't header the ball because someone's going to make the argument, but let's say you want a pure striker. Are you going to put someone like Harry Kane or Jesus on 10 chemistry over Eusebio on 5? You're obviously not going to, but I think people don't understand that, and then they look at it and think, oh, someone's 7 chem, they perform less. They don't. All it does is it affects the chem boost. It's just mathematics, basic maths. If you see these chem boosts, if a guy's on 10 chemistry, he's going to have maybe plus 10 here. If he's on 7, he might only have plus 5. But if he's still got 85 stand tackling and someone else on 10 chemistry got 84, it's pretty simple. So that's why I just focus on getting a top tier strike on full chemistry. I always try to get a strike all the time on full chemistry. That's my priority. If that means I lack a fullback out of position or something like that, I don't care, because those are the most important players. So strikers get full chemistry. Then I tried to get the cam on full chemistry, and then I tried to get the best CDMs I can for my budget, and then that is how I build a team. So you basically want to get the best player in, or spend the most of your budget on a striker. So what do I mean? Let's say you got 1,000,000 coins, right? Of course, if you got 1,000,000 coins, you shouldn't spend it like on just one player. But let's say, for example, let's say you know, got 750 coins, right? 750 coins, I would say, let's say you want a League One team, I would spend the money and I'll get Ben Yedder and striker. 5-star weak foot, arguably better than Mbappe because of the dribbling and the 5-star weak foot. Some people, of course, disagree with me, but get Ben Yedder and build team a good random. I'll get like Marquinhos, Kimpembe, if you're talking about Meta, Claude Maurice, and maybe another CDM that I'll get. Problem is, you don't want to really get the most expensive CDMs. Maybe get someone like Savinir or something, because of course you don't want to be spending a joke amount of money on a player that's basically just going to be getting the ball. To be honest, pace is really the forefront. So anyway, the point I'm just trying to say anyway, the point is, look, when you have a budget, please just spend most of your money on your striker, because at the end of the day, you're only going to have a couple of chances in the game. And even then, with the best striker like Eusebio and R9, you're still going to miss your chances. Whether a guy can, when you can tackle the ball with any player in the game, any player, you can just stand there. You don't believe me? Go into kickoff. Go get Ronaldo with 2 controllers. Go get Ronaldo, stand there, and with another player, walk into Ronaldo, and you'll see that Ronaldo will get the ball. It's so simple, but I think a lot of misinformation in the community. And again, the reason why I have to say it this way, people always think, you know, I have this air about arrogance or whatever. I mean, it's just me being honest. I think if I don't be honest, then people are not going to listen. I think in the past, people have just thrown things out there. And of course, if you like, you know, if you're like a famous creator or something and you say something, of course the masses are going to jump and think, oh yeah, that's the right thing, you know, if someone says something like that. But someone that's relatively small like myself, like, it's kind of the fullbacks thing, you know, everyone just doubted me in the beginning, but once you use it, then you realize. But anyway, that's what I wanted to mention. Striker first, then go with the midfield and a goalkeeper, and then go with the left mid, a right mid, and a left back and a right back. That's how you can actually do it. But you should always, of course, prioritize a top striker over everything. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.